Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the quad 5 of Textilers. And for this particular track, we are looking at app development and workflow. So I'm going to first introduce myself. And but before introducing myself, let me just run you through the agenda on what we are looking at today. So first, we are going to have the introduction. So introduction of myself, and I would explain how this track is going to go. Then we'll look at what Power Platform is. We'll look at data connectors. Then I'm going to give us a link for us to go into the introduction to Canvas apps, and would explain the business value of the Power Platform. I'll take your questions and we are going to end the class. All right. So first, this is me. I'm not sharing my face today, but this is a picture of me. My name is Omolola Alfred. I am an MVP in the business application ecosystem. And today I will be explaining to us what the whole ecosystem of our platform is. But before then, like I said, we first need to understand how this track is going to go. So in this track, we have 5 classes, right? And for the 5 classes, we'll be meeting 10 a.m. every Saturday, May 25th to June 22nd. I know that we already explained this if you came for the first introduction class that we had in for textilers. That was last week. All right. But our focus for this track is Canvas app, model driven, and Power Automate. And I'm going to explain what that is as required. But that is our focus. We'll be looking at Canvas apps, we'll be looking at model driven applications, and we'll be looking at Power Automate. And also the approach that we'll be taking for this particular track is the project-based approach. What do I mean by project-based approach? It means that um, when we are teaching Canvas app, we are going to use a project to teach Canvas app. We are going to use a project to teach model-driven application. We are going to use a project to teach Power Automate, so that when you are done, then also, aside from the project that we used to teach, when you are done, in fact, before you are done from, I think, the third class, we will introduce you to your final project, the projects that you are going to build yourself. So, of course, you would watch how we're going to build the project and you will learn from that so that you would be able to build your own project. So when you're building your own project and after the whole textilers training is over, you would be able to apply to companies. Why? Because you already have um, hands-on experience, right? So that is how we are going to go. I know that we should be excited with this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just introduce the Microsoft Power Platform. If you have any questions, just hold them for me. At the end of the class, we will take questions. All right. So Microsoft Power Platform is an ecosystem where you can build application, you can automate processes, you can analyze data, right? We have a lot of artificial intelligence that has now been embedded into the Microsoft ecosystem. Okay. We have in the Microsoft ecosystem, we have a dedicated database where all the data that is generated is going to be stored. We have data connectors and we have AI builder. And I know that for a beginner, you might be wondering, what is all this that she's saying? So I'm going to break them down in bits and explain what each of them is and what they do. All right. First, the Microsoft Power Platform, right, is a platform. It means that it is owned, developed by a mother body, which is Microsoft. So it is a platform that is used to develop and build solutions. All right. The platform is used to build solutions. The kind of solutions that you build with the Microsoft Power Platform are for organizations. Okay. It means that you cannot develop an application for someone, just somebody that, for instance, somebody might, after taking this class, somebody might come and meet you and say, can you build me an application now that you have learned how to build applications? Okay, you can't build an application for somebody that does not have a business. Okay, now if they have a business, part of the questions that you first must ask them is, are they in the Microsoft ecosystem? Okay, now what do I mean by Microsoft ecosystem? You know that I don't know if anybody here, if you've ever heard of Office 365 before, if you've heard of Microsoft Word. Is there anybody here that has heard of Microsoft Word? Just put in the, don't unmute your mic, just put in the comment section, yes or no. If you've ever heard of Microsoft Word before, you've ever heard of Microsoft PowerPoint before, PowerPoint, Word. If you've heard of these things before, put in the comment section, yes, I've heard of them before. Yes, I've used them before. Yes, I've heard of them before. Quick. All right, so while we do that, I'm just going to go ahead with my explanation. Now, Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint, it's like an ecosystem of their own, right? Which is the Office 365 and is owned by Microsoft. Now, there are companies that have this package already, the Office 365. That means that they have a Word, they have Outlook, they have PowerPoint. Okay. So there are some other companies that don't have this, right? So if a company employs you, or you have a customer, you have a client that wants you to build a solution for them using the Microsoft Power Platform, these are the first things that you check. Okay, do they have Office 365? It means that do they already have a tenant with Microsoft, right? It's like you're renting, going to Microsoft and say, I want to rent the house. All right. So first thing you would check, are they Microsoft tenants? It means that do they have the Office 365 package from Microsoft? Now, if they have that, depending on the kind of license that they have, it's possible that they already have access already to Power Apps, Power Automate. And follow me carefully, you understand where I'm going to. The reason is because remember that I told you that Microsoft Power Platform is a platform owned by Microsoft. So for you to have access to this platform owned by Microsoft, you need a license. That license will enable a company to use and to develop apps or solutions, basically using the Microsoft Power Platform ecosystem. All right. So what have we learned so far? That Microsoft Power Platform is it's a suite of applications and they are licensed. It means that you pay some certain token, just like Netflix, you pay some certain token monthly, or yearly, depending on the kind of way you want to make payments, yes, for you to be able to have access to these applications. Now, the beautiful thing is that a lot of companies, where you come in as a Microsoft Power Platform developer, is that a lot of companies already have these suites. They have Word, they have Outlook, they have PowerPoint. They have this license that would enable them to use Power Apps, Power Automate to build different solutions, but they don't even know the value that they have. So as a Microsoft Power Platform developer, part of the things that you're doing is that you want to unlock value in these organizations. They have these things, they don't even know that they have them, and that's where you come in. All right. Now that we understand that it is a licensed platform, what exactly is Power Apps? Power Apps, like the name is, apps, is used for building apps. So what I'm showing you now is an ecosystem, right? It means that Power Platform is not just one thing. It is so many things inside one bucket, okay? So Power Apps is used for developing applications. So it's like the interface. For instance, we all know Piggyvest, right? Piggyvest is an application. It's an interface where you go in and you save your money. all right? Anytime you look at PiggyVest, I don't want you to just look at it again as PiggyVest, right? I want you to look at it as so many things that came together to make one solution. That interface that you would open, all right, is what is the interface. The place that you open is like the application, okay? Now, when you want to save your money in PiggyVest, what happens? You put your money there. Before you even put your money, you will first register, okay? As you're registering, you are providing data. The data you are providing is storing in a bucket. That bucket is called database. So for Microsoft Power Platform, we have our own database, which is called Dataverse. So the Power Apps is that front, the interface, the place that if you build, let's assume that today a company has asked me to build a requisition app, an application where all the people in the organization can request for anything. I want to request for maybe my laptop is bad. I want to request for my laptop from my team lead. They want it documented, right? So they said, Omolola or Fred, please help us build an application that we will use for making this request happen. That interface that they would come into, it will be built with Microsoft Power Apps, all right? When you come into the application and you make a request, that request should be stored somewhere, all right? That place that it will be stored, we have a dedicated place for it in the Microsoft Power Platform ecosystem, which is the Dataverse. So in the next class, another mentor would come here to teach us how to actually model our data. What that basically means is how to structure your database. So somebody has registered somebody wants to make a registration from your Power Apps now, the app you have built. They want to make a registration. They want to submit their name. What kind of buckets will they store that name that they are putting into your Power Apps, okay? And that's where Dataverse comes in, modeling your data comes in. You need to define the kind of buckets that I'll be able to put my name. I'm not going to go into that because our mentor is going to do justice to that next class. Now, remember that we are using PiggyVest to explain what Power Platform is, right? PiggyVest as an application, as a solution. So now moving on to, you already understand what Power Apps is as the interface, and you understand what Database is as the buckets where all your data will be stored. A database is a database, is a bucket where all your information that you're putting from your Power Apps will be, will be stored. One sec. Okay, awesome. So we know Power Apps and Dataverse now. Moving on to Power Automate. What exactly is Power Automate? Let me go back to the PiggyVest that I was using as example. Okay. When you on PiggyVest today, if I make a solution, if I remove money, something is going to happen. They will send a mail to me to say, or if I deposit money, you just deposited 100,000 naira, you just removed 100,000 naira, right? How is the application smart enough to know there's something automating that process that you cannot see? You can't see it, but it's working. And that is where Power Automate comes in. So the scenario that I was painting, that a customer or a client has come to Omolola to say, please help us build a requisition application. All right. Remember that the people that want to make requests. So if you want to make requests from any of your superior in the company, you type in your name, you register, it stores in the database bucket. But after you have done that and you have made that request, we need something to take that request automatically, right? Without you leaving your seat. We need something to take that request automatically to who? To your lead or the person that you are making that request from. So all you need to do from your Power Apps, right, is to put in your name and to also put in who you want to send it to and your requests. Power Automate will be listening for you to send. Once you send it, Power Automate will take all that data and take it to your superior. Okay, so Power Automate is for workflow automation. It means that it automates data. All the data that you're storing inside of your database, Power Automate will send it to who it ought to go to. So in this session or in this track, you'll be able to build applications with the Power Platform, with the Power Apps. You'll be able to structure your database with Dataverse. You would be able to automate all this data that you're storing in the database. All right. Now, Power BI, you know that when you have already stored your data, all the data that you're collecting and you have stored them, you need a visualization, let me say like an insight. For instance, I have data, plenty data. What Power BI does is that it will analyze it and say, from all this data, I can see that all the people that have registered. So it will say, for instance, 150 people registered for Techstylers. All right. Out of these 150 people, 25 people are guys, right? Since we know that Techstylers is majorly for women, but we also allow men to join. All right, so it will say, oh, we have 25% of the participants are guys and the rest are female. Then, depending on how you want to analyze the data, you can drill down to say 20% of these people reside in Lagos, 25% reside in the US, 25% reside in Dubai. All right. So what are you doing? You're bringing out information from data. That's what Power BI does. However, in this track, remember when I explained the things that we'll be looking at in this track, I said we'll be looking at Canvas app, we'll be looking at Power Automate, we'll be looking at model-driven application, we'll be looking at Dataverse. And from my explanation, I've covered three major things. I've covered Power Apps, right? I've covered Power Automate, and I've covered Dataverse. So Power BI is for data analytics. It is in the Microsoft ecosystem, Microsoft Power Platform ecosystem, but for the Techstylers cohort, we have actually made it a class on its own. And the reason is because in the job ecosystem, right, in organizations, you don't do everything. If you're coming in as a Microsoft Power Platform developer, your focus most times would most times have your specialization. Some organizations you would be a Power Apps developer. Some organizations you would be able to develop or you'll be developing applications for them. You automate these applications, and it means that in your skills bucket you need Power Apps, Power Automate, Dataverse, and that is what we have combined together for this track. In organizations, we have data analysts, and these data analysts, some organizations, they use different tools, but for this class or for the Techstylers cohort, we are looking at tools within the Microsoft ecosystem. So Power BI is what they will be teaching, or what is being taught. So as I'm teaching now, we also have another track, which is the data analytics track, and that is where they teach Microsoft Power BI, all right, for data analytics. But to an extent now, you have an idea of what Power BI does, is for analyzing data. Okay, so I'm going to put so after the question and answer, I'm going to put in the chat box a link for us to read. All right. So Copilot Studio for Copilot creation. So for people that already have an understanding of the Microsoft's Power Platform ecosystem, we advise them to actually go into the Copilot Studio track. That track is where you now understand how to use Copilot for Power Platform and other things that you can use Copilot for. So, but a little overview. Now, in one of the beautiful things that I personally love about Microsoft is, or that I love, that I love about Microsoft and being in the Microsoft ecosystem is that upgrade is done regularly. Okay, normally in tech, you have to ensure that you are reading and you are developing your skills regularly. But it is more important if you're in the Microsoft ecosystem because Microsoft is moving very fast. So today, Microsoft has one of the best AI applications, and they have infused it into all the applications. All right. You would have heard of, so if you're using a search engine, Microsoft search engine, you would have heard of Copilot. Okay, so basically what Copilot does is like ChatGPT. If anybody knows ChatGPT here, put in the chat session or put in the chat box. I know we should all know ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is AI, Copilot is AI. So one of the things that Copilot does is that he answers questions. Let me put it like that. So you can basically chat with it and it will answer questions. Now, the beautiful thing is that in Power Apps, Power Automate, and some of these tools that I'm showing you, we have Copilot embedded in them. All right. It means that even as I'm building Power Automate, as I'm building Power Apps, right, I can actually engage Copilot. I can engage AI. So how to do all of that, right, is being taught in another track. Because for you to be able to understand that, you should first understand how to use Power Apps, how to use Power Automate, all right, how to use Power BI before you can now use Copilot to do anything in that. So there's another track for Copilot, and we have advised people who already have an understanding of Power Apps and Power Automate to go for this track. Then we have Power Pages. So depending on our time and how we move in this class, we might actually take a little dive into Power Pages so that we understand what Power Pages is. But like I said, our focus is Power Apps, Power Automate, and Dataverse. All right. Then we also have two other things in this ecosystem that I'll be talking about. We have data connectors and we have AI Builder. Now, it is very important that you understand what connectors are. Connectors are like bridges, all right? We know Eco Bridge, we know all these bridges. So, sorry, if I say Eco Bridge, I'm assuming that you're living in Lagos, Nigeria. But bridges, we know what bridges are, right? A bridge, that's what connectors are. So, for instance, I'm using Power Apps, right? I want to, we understand that Power Apps is used for building the interface, correct? Now, what I want to now use Power Automate. Remember that we said that we can use Power Automate to automate all the data that has been gotten from our Power Apps. So the beautiful thing is that you need something to actually speak to where you want to take the data from and where you want to take the data to. What do I need? From next class, you will see the practical. So this is like the theory session where you understand what these things are used for. Power Apps is where you will come in and put in all your data, right? Power Automate will take that data from Power Apps and take it somewhere. For instance, I want to request for a laptop from my superior. What happens? I would go into my Power Apps interface and put in my data, correct? And that's all the information about a laptop that I need, and I will send it. Power Automate will take it and send a mail to my superior to say, Omolola needs this and this. Now, what data connector is that they would connect that data from where it currently is, right? That is from Dataverse that it is, to where you want it to go. That's why I said there it's like a bridge. It connects, that's why they call it data connector. So we have different data connectors in the Microsoft ecosystem. So Mail has its own connector, and it also depends on the kind of mail that you want to use. If it is Outlook that you want to use, Outlook is a mailing platform. All right. So I want to send my my data from Dataverse. First, I need to first call that data from Dataverse. Means that I need a data connector called Dataverse data connector, to say, please help me to bring all the data that I've submitted, because I want to send it to my superior. Okay. Now you now need another connector. So I want to send it to my superior. Remember that we talked about customers that already they have rented a house from Microsoft, right? They are Microsoft tenants, so they have a tenant of their own. So different companies, for instance, if you're working for Microsoft, your email address will now be omolola@microsoft.com, right? So you need a connector. For instance, like I said, in the Microsoft ecosystem, the mailing system that they use is Outlook. So I want to send a mail to my superior using Outlook. I have fetched the data from Dataverse. What will I do? I need to now get a connector, that's Outlook connector, that will send all my data that are fed from Dataverse to my superior, right? Because my superior, the platform that I want my superior to receive that data is Outlook. So you need two connectors. You need a Dataverse connector and you need Outlook connector. So depending on what you want to do, you need data connectors. They're like bridges, right? You need them to connect you to where you want to speak to, what you want to do. So we have several connectors in the Microsoft ecosystem. We have different connectors, right? We have Outlook connectors, Power Apps connector, Dataverse connector, Power BI connectors, right? So for instance, you want to automate some things. So if you have an idea already of Power BI and you're in this class, you want to automate your data, you want to maybe automate the refresh, you want your data to be automatically refreshed. We have Power BI connectors. All you need to know first is, what do you want to do and what do you want to speak to? Then you look for a data connector that can connect you from where you are to what you want to do. So that's what data connectors are. An AI builder is used for introducing artificial intelligence into your application. So this class, I'm not here to bore you, right? At this point, I'm going to send us the link. So I'm going to go ahead and just send us the link. Let me see. So if we have questions for me, please raise your hand. I'm going to take questions, but before then, I cannot see our comments because I've asked quite a number of questions and I can't see comments from people. I told us to put it in the chat box, but I can't see us putting anything in the chat box. Okay, so I want to, all right, so I just dropped us a link, right? And I'm going to explain what this link is. So in the Microsoft ecosystem, we have something called Microsoft Learn. What Microsoft Learn does is it's a university. Let's just take it as a university. It's a university. It's like a university where we have different books and different things that you can read, and they are free, right? They are all free. Okay, so we want you to, so now I've explained a lot of things. After this session, I want you to go on and click on this link. It will take you to Microsoft Learn. You can register so that you have access to different things to learn. But the one I want you to learn, and I've put the link here, is the Power Apps. So it will give you introduction to Power Apps. You'll be able to see everything that I've just explained, and you'll even see more. It has been put on the Discord channel.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
All right,
All
somebody
right.
saying something.
It's not active, so we cannot click on the link since we don't have access to chatting.
So I said the link has been put on Discord. Are we all on Discord channel? On the Discord channel?
Yes.
Awesome. So yes, so the link has been put on the Discord channel. All right. Please confirm, you can just check, confirm that you can see it there. Okay. So I'm going to put here another link for us, and it will also be put in the Discord channel. Okay, so now this link that I just put, like I said, is for Microsoft Learn. You learn and you see all of that. So I'm also going to put another link here now. It will also be put in the Discord channel, so don't worry about that. So this link that I just put here is from my YouTube channel, and it explains, it gives you the introduction to Canvas app, right? It shows you what Canvas app is. Okay, so I've given us two links today. One is for us to read, and the second one is for us to watch and practice. So the one we are watching and we watch and practice is the YouTube link. It's just for us to go there. We will see real life what everything I just explained now, Canvas app, and we'll be able to understand it. So from the next class, we are going to have hands-on experience into all of this. Our trainer is going to take us into, remember, how to create our buckets using Dataverse, create data buckets, right? And basically it's called modeling of data. So you're going to learn all of that in the next class. Do I have any questions at all about Microsoft Power Platform? Any other thing that is not clear to you? Anything that you would like me to explain? Anything at all about the course and what you should be expecting? Let me have your questions now. As you're about to call. Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All.
Please what's your name?
Yes. My name is Femi.
Okay. Hi.
Hi. Moderator. All right. So my question is based on what we were talking earlier. So I just wanted to know the difference. Is there a difference between AI Builder and Copilot? Because Copilot is the AI for Microsoft applications, like you mentioned. So is AI Builder any different, or are they the same thing?
No. It's very different. AI Builder is actually very different from Copilot. So the fourth class that we are going to have will be building with Canvas app, and I'm going to explain more on this, because the second class that we are having, this is our first class. The second class that we're having next week is going to talk about modeling of data. Then the next one will talk about model-driven applications. All right. So the fourth class that we are having will be on Canvas app. The trainer that will come and train us will explain to us, will show us something on AI Builder. Is that fine?
Yes, it's fine. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right. Do I have any other question? Let me see. I have somebody's hands raised. Yeah. Hello, Adeshawa. Please unmute your mic.
Yeah, so I just wanted to ask, there's a term that I've been saying around, like going through, because I'd gone through the Microsoft Learn before, which is Power FX, but you just wanted to just ask about it and it can throw more light on it. I don't know if it's off you're doing.
Yes. Thank you very much, Adeshawa. All right. So Power FX is the language that. So one question, Shawa, have you ever used Excel before?
Yes, I have.
Good. So you know those formulas that you write on Excel, right? Maybe if you want to sum two columns, Yes, so that is what PowerFX looks like, right? It's the language that we actually use, especially in Canvas application, right? So for instance, for me to be able to build the interface I was talking about, right? Say I built an interface that is for requisition app, for instance. I just built an application for requisition, okay? And I want to send this requisition, all these things that I've just filled, I want to send it to my superior. There will be a PowerFX code on that button that will actually enable everything that I've imputed to be set, right? So they are just logics, right, that actually help applications to function. Do you understand? Do you have more questions? Have I been able to throw any kind of light?
Yeah, thank you. Yes, clear.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right. Hi, Abayomi. Hello,
Okay,
Abayomi. Please unmute yourself.
yeah. Good morning. Good morning, moderator.
Good
Good morning,
morning.
everyone. And thanks for
Good
this
morning.
opportunity. So a quick one is, so you said if we're going to be, I think, a Power App builder or something for a company, that means
Yes.
the company should have Microsoft 365 already. So, but I'm like, for we that, like, for someone like I that want to be the builder for the company, as a personal person, like in terms of I need to practice, I need to get to even look at what I'm building. I don't yet have probably a customer, but I have potential customer. So how do I practice on the Microsoft 365 platform if I like I don't have the do I also need to get paid? Do I have to pay for my personal Microsoft 365 to always practice with before going to organizations?
Okay, I understand you. So, two things. Yes, you need a tenant. Let me just put it like that. For building, you don't need to pay for it. It's unpaid, right? I'm going to also put the link on Discord. All right. I don't have the link right here with me. I'm going to put the link on Discord. So what you need to do is you follow. So one of our mentors, right? One sec. All right. So one of our mentors already have links that would actually help you to create an environment of your own that you'll be using to practice. So I'm going to drop it on the Discord channel because you need to set that up before next class. Remember that I said that all our trainings will be done using a practical approach. Okay, so you need that to be done, and you don't need to pay for it. It's all free for practicing. Have I been able to answer your question? Yes, you're welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Hi, Oluwafemi.
Hi. Okay, just the follow through on Mr. Abayomi's question. It's not a question. It's just a contribution. So there are some free environments you can use on the internet also. So you don't necessarily have to pay for the Microsoft licenses like she shared. So there are free ones that you can use just as for free. Compulsory you buy. I think she has already even made that point, so it's fine. But just a contribution, not a question.
All right, thank you very much, Oluwafemi. Next class, I'll tell the mentor to make you our assistant trainer. Thank you. That's very profound. Thank you very much. Hi, Debbie.
Yes, good morning. Thank you very much for this opportunity. The question, or will I say like a form of clarification? So for me, I'm new in this field. So for the lectures today, I understand, let me say I gleaned from the surface. I'll go back, go through the links you have placed on the Discord channel, channel where we communicate. Will there be opportunities for me to ask questions from probably a mentor or someone if while I'm going through, I don't understand what we were taught today?
Yes. So for this track, we have 3 mentors, right? That will be teaching myself, Carolina, and Buluwatife. So aside from that, we have other people that when you drop questions on that Discord channel, they would be able to reach out to. They would actually answer your question. And if you want it to be maybe how will I put it? If you want something that you want to, maybe you just want the person to quickly help you go through something for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you can always ask, and that is also available. All right. So just drop your questions on the Discord channel. Somebody will definitely answer you.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate.
You're welcome. Thank you, Debbie. Yes, please drop your answer that I will see the next person. Hi, Florence.
Hi, Homolola. Thank you so much for the beautiful class here. And I've learned so much with, regarding Power Platform. Okay, I have experience with Dynamics. So, and I know that there is a lot of migration, or how do I call it, of some services to Power Platform. So of course I'm not very based with Power Platform. So, and now I see that the app building is about building applications on the Power Platform. We have different apps. So where I'm going is the aspect of you talked about you can't do everything. Now, when you shared with us, you actually shared with us the various parts of the Power Platform. So, and that you have to pick you have to actually pick specialty in these areas. So, I want to find out, maybe for someone who is already in my own. I already have a space in the Dynamics, and how can I, leverage these two together?
All right. Thank you very much, Florence. So first, yes, it is true that you need to have a specialty. And in your case, you already do. You are in the dynamic space. All right. So being in this class is actually an advantage for you because there are some integrations that you need to do between Dynamics and Power Platform, right? Because one of the beautiful things that you can actually do with the Microsoft Power Platform is to extend Dynamics, right? Which you can do with Power Automate or you do with Power Apps. So if you have all of this, your specialty is already Dynamics. So when you're learning Power Apps, you're learning with the mindset that you want to be able to customize Dynamics. Do you understand? So what aspect of Dynamics do you do? CRM, ERP?
ERP.
Which of it? BC,
finance and operations.
Awesome. So if it's F&O, the database is also Dataverse, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, means that you can actually use, remember when we talked about connectors, it means that you can actually use Power Automate to speak to it, right? Also, you can build applications on Canvas app that will just sync the database for that Canvas app will still be Dataverse, all right? So you can have a mini application where maybe frontline workers, you would have a particular scenario where you would really understand this. So basically what I'm trying to say is that it's an added advantage for you. So after this class, and if you really go through all of the things that we'll teach, you would actually, the skill is very relevant basically. So you would be more, it's like you upskilling, right?
Yeah. Thank you. I would really love to, learn that part more because I'm more of the technical side of F&O. So, and of
Perfect.
course, I also have to help customers when it comes to integrations and all that. So, and
Mhm,
I
mhm,
actually want to
mhm.
understand this part very well. Now I can have hands-on, working with Power Platform in Dynamics. Thank you so much, Omolola. I look forward to
You
that.
are, you're welcome. You're welcome. I look forward to seeing how you glow in the sight of knowledge too. Welcome, Florence. All right. Do I have any other question? Any other question from anybody? Okay, so we'll take one more and we'll call it a day. Hi, Florence. Please drop your hand. Emmanuel, go ahead.
Okay. My question is, I think I came across someone asking, or if I heard clearly, you said you were using a space that will be free, right? So I wanted to ask, how do we get on that space? I don't know if that's what you mentioned. We're going to prepare ourselves before the
Yes,
next class.
yes. The link is going to be dropped on the Discord
Oh,
channel.
okay. Okay.
Yes,
Thank you.
you're welcome. You're welcome. All right, so this brings us to the end of this class. Thank you so much for joining. Please, before the next class, ensure that you have your environment set up. Ensure that you have watched the video on YouTube and you have also started the Microsoft Learn class. So you have a week to do that, which is really more than enough. I'm so glad that you have joined us at Textilers, and we cannot wait to, dive into the practical part of practical part of Power Platform with you. All right. Do have a wonderful day and a beautiful week ahead. We'll see you on Saturday. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you so much, Omolola.